And what's going on, you rascals? Thanks for checking out the channel. Tobin here with you. Hope everybody is having a fantastic night out there. And I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you could, subscribe to the 560WQAM YouTube page as well. Tobin and Leroy every weekday live, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., although I will be off on Friday. Taking a little bit of a 3-day weekend. But I will be back on Monday. Unless Damian Lillard gets traded to the Heat tonight, then I'll do the show tomorrow. But other than that, kick rocks. But we are doing this right after the Miami Heat thumped the Bucks, dude. Just whooped their ass in Summer League action. Look, you could change the jerseys, you could change the names, you could change the city, you could change the league, whatever. Heat versus Celtics, take care of business. Heat versus Bucks, take care of business. And today, Miami Heat continuing to get just sensational performances by Orlando Robinson. I mean, it really has been impressive. And, I'm not going to act like I've been watching any other team in Summer League. I think you're a real I didn't even watch Wembanyama. I watched the highlights. I didn't watch his game. So you got to be a real NBA degenerate, I feel like, if you're watching anybody else but your team. So I am saying this purely from a biased place, but I got to imagine Orlando Robinson has been one of the most outstanding players in this tournament. I can't imagine there's many people who are throwing up the games this guy is. And today to put up 25 and 8 against this team. First of all, he went up against Taco Fall, who way bigger than him, obviously. Bit of a stiff, can't move his feet, got cement feet, but listen, he's still 7'5", 7'6", whatever the hell he is. And you got to throw your body into his to get to that free throw line, which he did a ton. Taco Fall today, fouled him a handful of times. And so Orlando Robinson, man, he just he continues to impress. And today had a situation. They did not have Jović. Jović was sitting out because of the foot. You have Jaime Jaquez, who remains out with the shoulder. So while it's been disappointing that you haven't been able to get to see last year's first-round pick, this year's first-round pick, the other guys have really stepped up who have had the experience, and that's Orlando Robinson. Jamal Cain probably had his best game of the Summer League so far with his 24 points, 8 rebounds, getting out on that fast break. He continues to be impressive. Drew Peterson continues to show people stuff, so he's been great. Jamari Bouye, I think, has been, by far their best guard out of anybody. He has really, really shined. And then I think of the others outside, Chase Audi's just continues to something about him, dude. He is that footwork. If you saw that little fadeaway that he had, the Heat tweeted it out, so you guys could check that out there. But then I don't know how this works in Summer League. I guess the way you advance, it's like point differential. So the Heat were trying to put it on the Bucks late, and Audige had a beautiful forced turnover at the end of the game to put the Heat up and win this game. What did they win? By 19, I think. So could end up being something important. They improved to 2-1. They got the Nuggets tomorrow. I don't know how much we're going to see left of Jović and Jaquez, which kind of sucks. I mean, I think we've all been enjoying seeing what Jović brought to the table. I had Caron Butler on my radio show this week, and he was even saying, like, I'm a little disappointed that the fans haven't gotten to see what Jaquez can bring, because he really thinks highly of what Jaquez can bring to the table. What have been your impressions so far with Jaime? What have you liked about his game?
Baller. He's a baller. Like, high basketball IQ, face-up game, can score back to the basket, off the dribble, live dribble, in the hole. You talk about ATOs, you can draw him up for him. He has a great feel. He has a great emotional intelligence. He reminds me a lot, and I think I said this, he reminds me a lot of Jim Jackson. Just like right off the bat, like his body size, really physical. He can defend at this level already. Offensively, he just knows how to get to his spots and get exactly what he wants. And, unfortunately, he had the little shoulder injury, but he's going to be back soon. But I would have loved for him just to hit the ground running the way that he started in Sacramento, because the fans would have just been loving what they've been seeing, because he's just a special talent.
So that's what went down in Heatland tonight. Orlando just continues to impress, man. Really, really does. But we'll recap tomorrow's game when that comes on up. A couple other things in Heatland that we'll get to here. One of them has to do with Tyler Herro, who I think if we're all impatient with the Damian Lillard trade talks, I can't imagine what it's like being Tyler Herro right now. You know, you're going to work every day. You know, he's been starting to put a lot of his stuff on social media for the summer. Has been doing some working out at the University of Miami. Although I don't know where he was at today. It looked like some local high school because it definitely wasn't green and orange wherever he was. But Ben Simmons also does a lot of working out at the University of Miami. And Ben Simmons, who those who don't know, is now represented by Jimmy Butler's agent, Bernie Lee. And, you know, he's on the comeback trail. Everybody always makes fun of the Ben Simmons summer tape. But Tyler Herro posted a little photo on his Instagram here. And boy wonder, you know, puts Ben Simmons sitting there aside. Tyler Herro's got his daughter there with him as it looks like the workout is wrapped up. I don't know what the sequence is here, but Ben Simmons there. You know, not him necessarily working out with Ben Simmons. I don't know if they did work out, you know, being at the same school. I'm not sure. But he's there. And interesting for a couple of reasons. It's interesting for a couple of reasons. One, you wonder, there's been some fodder, some chatter out there on whether or not the Heat would have to take on Ben Simmons. You know, there's been some reports out there would the Nets force Miami to take a Ben Simmons in the trade so they would get the good asset to take on Tyler Herro. I do feel like that's quieted, although I feel like everything's kind of quiet right now. But that has been a thing that's out there. Is Ben Simmons, the Heat would have to take him on, or he would have to get routed somewhere else for this deal to kind of go through. It's why everybody kind of says it's taking a while. Seems like a deal that's going to have a lot of people. You're scratch my back, I scratch yours. Ultimately, hopefully it ends with the Heat getting Damian Lillard. But if it doesn't involve that, I don't know if you guys can hear that thunder in the background. Weather's been nuts. If it doesn't involve the Heat taking on Ben Simmons and Tyler Herro does end up going to Brooklyn, is this two future teammates working out together? Are they getting some early work in with one another? I got to tell you, kind of a dynamic duo. If theoretically, Ben Simmons, of course, a Ben Simmons that plays basketball, kind of a duo that probably could play off each other really, really well. And I'm telling you, man, listen, I really want this Damian Lillard trade to go down. I mean, I've been down bad, you know, with this just, you know, when Woj tweeted out today, I got Woj on notifications. I got everybody on notifications right now. My phone doesn't shut up. But when Woj just tweeted, I saw the Miami Heat, and it ended up just being a guarantee of Haywood Highsmith's contract. I nearly was just like, I nearly threw my phone. Not that I'm not happy about Haywood Highsmith. The guy's awesome. I'm happy that he's sticking around, but it's just like, that's not the Heat news that I want. Okay, I don't need Woj tweeting that out. They need to like defer to an intern desk for Woj for certain transactions, you know? Just let Woj hit the bombs, not the firecrackers. But yeah, I thought that was interesting seeing Tyler Herro post on his social media. Very noticeable that he would put Ben Simmons on there, that he's working out with him, or that they were working out near one another. Very interesting. Could be something. Could be nothing. They could just be chilling out, hanging out. But it could be something. Could be a message. I don't know. We already know Tyler Herro on the social media has wiped away the Heat name. You know, so posting Ben Simmons was an interesting one. But this trade right now, I think the last thing that's been of substance that we've seen is the Oregonian, one of their reporters. Jeez Louise. Loud. Good God. The Oregonian came out, and they had said that the Heat were already up to 3 first-round picks in this deal, with Tyler Herro still in the fold. And so with the idea that maybe they could still trade him for another first-round pick. Now, you know, I don't know if there's a telephone game here. If that is the case, if he'd already have 3 first-round picks with Tyler Herro still in the fold, I mean, there's a play. I see no way this deal doesn't get done. It is going to be interesting. You know, we are a couple weeks away from Jaime Jaquez still being eligible to be traded, so that could also be a thing that's keeping this up. The number of young guys that they're giving up. I am not in the place right now though where I'm like, I don't want the Heat to lose this whole negotiation, quibbling over, a pick, a young player. I think ultimately you got to get Damian Lillard in the fold. I think that's huge. I saw this Paul Pierce today. He's this guy. I mean, if you want just like the greatest stamp of approval of this deal from Paul Pierce, just listen to Paul Pierce from the standpoint of this guy's always wrong about the Miami Heat, like always. And it's like he always will go over the top when it comes to the Miami Heat and how negative he'll be. When it was, I think he had a Celtics in 5. Nice call, Paul. He had that one a couple of years back. It was Riley trying to build one more championship, and it was the year they went to the finals in the bubble. He goes, well, if the Miami Heat are close to a championship, then everybody's close to a championship, and the Heat got 2 wins away from a championship. And now this year, he just like kept throwing this out there that like, well, if they get Damian Lillard, this was his the place that he went to. Paul Pierce said that if the Heat get Damian Lillard with Bam and Jimmy, they won't make it out of the first round. They won't make it out of the first round. I mean, are you kidding me? Like the in a way, I hate Paul Pierce so much. I almost have to respect it that he's got that level of hate back for the Miami Heat, because he really genuinely just hopes nothing but failure on this franchise. And in a way, I kind of respect it because, it's just his rage towards the Heat is so, it's a blinding rage. It really is. It's a blinding rage that he has against the Miami Heat. For Dwayne Wade just being in every way better at basketball than he is, with them winning more championships. And it's hilarious because I think the thing I find funny about it is you have all these Bostonians who are like so petrified about the Heat getting Damian Lillard, and then you have, their god, their figurehead, their face of the franchise, and he's like not scared at all. He's like, "I'll do it." I mean, you won't have, all that depth that the Heat. I'm like, so let me get this straight. All that depth that everybody was taking a poop on and saying, who are these guys? Who are these guys? Who are these guys? Paul Pierce is like, wait, you lost Gabe Vincent? You lost Strus? You're going to lose, like, he just knows they're going to lose Caleb Martin. You're going to gut it. It's going to be gutted. You're going to lose all these people. You're going to lose 20 points here, 20 points there. I'm pretty sure by the end of it, Paul Pierce added the Heat bench to all averaging 400 points together a game. And so in that mind, he doesn't think Damian Lillard can make good on that, which I would say the Heat have already positioned themselves pretty well for what they're probably going to have to give up, which is youth and picks and Tyler Herro. And even with the loss of Gabe Vincent and Max Strus, I do think obviously you're getting Damian Lillard. The guy was one of the league leading scorers last year. It's a huge upgrade from Gabe Vincent. Jay Rich, I think, is going to provide a lot for this team. Was a better shooter last year than Max Strus from a percentage standpoint. Max Strus was not a good shooter in the regular season last year and was very kind of up and down, hot and cold in the postseason. And I just think that, if you did lose Caleb Martin, I think a lot of the defensive energy can be brought by Haywood Highsmith. Like, I really do think the Heat are in a pretty good spot. The only thing I would say to Paul Pierce, the only thing they're probably losing with Gabe Vincent, because I would imagine Kyle Lowry's not going to be here next year, is they do need a backup guard/point guard, somebody to kind of run things, which that definitely does need to be figured out. But I do think that's what you have is the difference between them not being that, whatever. Why am I even acknowledging this? The point is, I'm glad Paul Pierce said that the Heat are going to get bounced in the first round, because if anybody could just solidify that this is going to be a successful move, it would be just doing the opposite of what Paul Pierce suggested the team, what will happen to this team if they get Damian Lillard. So anyway, that's our smorgasbord of Heat for today, everybody. A little bit of everything, a little bit of everything. I did do a poll, by the way, on the show to go back to last video talking about Dion Waiters. And I asked Heat fans, let's see where we're at on this, about their interest in bringing back Philly cheese. It got about 1,200 votes. And it's about 60-40 right now. 60% don't want to bring back Philly cheese. 40% do. Closer than I thought. I thought this was going to be an overwhelming no. A lot of people's fancy kind of tickled by a more mature Dion Waiters coming back to the Miami Heat. So I found that interesting. Have a great night, everybody.